Hello everyone, I'm Crash Knife Fight, and I'm back with another installment of How to Be a Better Teammate. Today, I'm taking a look at the Specialist class. Frankly, the Specialist and the way I have seen my teammates use it was the motivation for this entire series of videos. It's true, the Specialist long-range blasters makes it the default sniper in BF2, and it is certainly what the developers had in mind, at least partially for this class. The Specialist can thin the herd as the enemy team makes its way towards objectives, and they are particularly successful on large open maps like Hoth or Geonosis. The problem is that far too often I play on teams where there are 4 or 5 specialists sitting at the back of the map, often in the very same spot and just looking for cheap kills. In a game mode like Galactic Assault, where you only have a team of 20, you simply can't afford to have that many players not pushing the objective or directing their firepower directly towards it, and that is regardless if you are defending or attacking. So what I'm suggesting in this video are ways to get more out of the Specialist that still adheres to the spirit of the class. The Specialist is probably the most difficult class to master. Most players settle for long-distance sniping, but that is not coming close to reaching the class's full potential, and honestly, I'm still learning this myself. Nevertheless, I have seen some really effective tactics that makes good use of the class's abilities and blasters. I did mention in my first video that 1 or 2 snipers playing a more traditional role is okay, and one of their primary responsibilities should be to play the counter-sniper role by searching for the enemy snipers and making sure they are not taking out too many of your teammates. To be effective at this, however, requires players to understand that they will become a target as well. It's essential to find good cover, seek targets out quickly and discreetly, and spend as little time as possible exposed while getting their shots off. Playing the Specialist at maximum distance will also provide you a chance to get some shots on the enemy's heroes or villains. It's unlikely that you will score a kill against them, but you can keep them occupied so they are unable to direct their full attention towards your teammates. Keep in mind, however, you will eventually get their attention, and if it is a blaster wielder like Leia or Bosk, you will lose that matchup. Which leads me to my next point. You must consider relocating after scoring a couple kills, or landing some shots on a hero to prevent being spotted. Beyond the traditional sniper role, the Specialist abilities can help bring the class closer to the action and make more of an impact playing the objective. To make the Specialist more effective at closer ranges, you will want to equip the A280 CFE. The A280 CFE lacks the power of the class's other unlockable blaster rifles, but its higher rate of fire and forgiving hip fire helps make up for it. This is a weapon that will get outmatched at short range, but from mid to long range it will fare well against other trooper classes. Additionally, you can incorporate the shock grenade with the A280 by allowing it to do some damage, slow the enemy down, and then finishing them off with your blaster. Other abilities in the Specialist class's kit will allow for a hit and run style, and get players closer to the action to do some damage and then retreat. One of the best abilities for this is Scrambled Infiltration. The Specialist Infiltration ability works in much the same way as the Assault class's Vanguard, by increasing the player's speed for a short time while activating a close range weapon. In this case, the weapon is a version of the EE4 from BF1. It has a 3-round burst with an incredibly quick time to kill, and a little bit longer effective range than the Assault's Vanguard. The Scrambled Infiltration star card is a great choice to pair with this ability. In addition to the regular ability, Scrambled Infiltration reveals the location of the enemies on the minimap and provides this information to nearby teammates as well. And that, my friends, is how you can be a better teammate. To help you survive getting closer to the action, the personal shield is a great asset. This will provide some protection if you start taking fire, allowing you to move away from the action and providing time for your health to regenerate and your other abilities to cool down. The personal shield will also allow you to interact with objectives without taking damage. Sometimes all it takes is that little bit of extra protection to get those bombs set on the objectives on Starkiller Base and Yavin 4. Another tactic popular with Specialist players is to equip the personal shield and run up on unsuspecting enemy players for a melee attack. Personally, I think this is a cheap trick, and typically only results in a kill or two before the player gets taken out. However, sometimes it can be utilized to dislodge camping players and disrupt defenses with some favorable results. Make it a last resort tactic rather than your go-to for all scenarios. A couple of the other star card abilities offer some value, but less so for fostering good team play. Two of which I would say are decent anti-hero devices. First of which is the Stinger Pistol. The Stinger Pistol does not do enough damage to kill any trooper class. However, it does cause a little more damage to heroes and villains over time and prevents any health regeneration during its effect. Some specialist players really enjoy the sidearm, and whenever I get hit by it, it seems like it comes from nowhere, and it is really frustrating. Its value really comes from slowing down that hero and forcing them to find cover until the effect wears off. If you're just out to troll some heroes or villains, then the repulsor cannon may be the way to go for you. This cannon's effect is similar to a force push, but does not impart any damage. It's more comical than anything else to keep knocking players off their feet, but it can get those heroes and villains on the ground, allowing your team to get in their shots. As I mentioned earlier, the Specialist class is the most difficult to master. It's going to take good knowledge of the maps and where to find cover, as well as a steady hand to be effective with the class's blasters. Additionally, it helps to have good intuition by knowing the most likely spots where the enemy will appear, and good sense of awareness to avoid being flanked or the victim of another sniper. Making the most of this class will also require knowing the ins and outs of the abilities and knowing the best ways, places, and times to employ them. Everyone should give this trooper a try at some point, but if all you can accomplish is long-range headshots, then perhaps you should stick with another class to be the most effective player for your team. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more content coming soon.